Saturday Showdown. T1 versus Genji Esports.
Yes. No, Lethality, I'm with you, as we don't really get anything too surprising to come through here. Looking at what has been picked up by either team, I think that the composition of Hanwha Live looks really good in particularly skirmishes, right? We're talking 2v2s, we're talking 3v3s. When you have this much burst, single target CC, and the ability to just ensure, like, we pick a target, the target dies, right? There's Hook, there's Vi, there is anything that Annie does. There is Varus to follow up both with damage and with his ultimate. All of that stuff is great. The 5v5, though, for T1, I think, is going to be lethal. There is so much you see. Keria is playing Poppy, which by itself is a win condition when T1 is playing well.
We have a first game here to start us off. T1 on the blue side, we'll see whether they can make use of it to get off to a good start in this series, in this battle for second place. Still, T1 will be able to play Protect the President. Yeah, that's a big teleport in. As Ona's clearing out vision. Peanut knows what's going on here, but he's actually staying on the Dragon. Let's see whether Zeus can actually help this one out, as Zeka's moving in as well. And HLE standing their ground. They've got Delight moving up, but Doran's making his way in as well. No equalizer available, but there's Heroic entrance. Doesn't get any knockups as the bear goes down. Public execution, trying to get into that backline, but Ona gets himself out. First blood goes over, but both junglers are now lying on the floor, and I think Delight is going to follow as Zeus trying to get himself out of here. The Flame Spitter doing a lot of work, but Doran silences himself. Down goes Delight, as we stated. And Viper, he's chilling. Some vision coming on over here as well, as that will be swept by Keria. And so it looks like these grubs will be safely going into the hands of T1. Certainly good to deny that from the composition with an Ambassador that could be causing some problems in a side lane.
Oh, Delight is still level 5. Close, but never quite there.
Okay.
Zeus.
Yeah, Equalizer going to come on down here. as Zeus looking for some alcove gaming. He has no way out of this one. Does have a bunch of dashes, but Keria does not care about that. Just throws him up into the sky. Still gets a big old shield. Zeus really trying to play this one out, but not able to do so.
And they're still going to be able to get this. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, kind of nuts. T1 not really interested in the Dragon this time around.
Yeah. Did also go for Mikhail's very early on.
Cease and desist has been used. Speaking of Keria, who is taking a little bit of damage here in the river. Delight going to be rotating in as Ona does find him. Heroic charge comes down as well, as Ona has been exhausted. There's the Cyclone. Heroic entrance comes down as well, and there's the instant Mikhail's. That will kill Viper, and Ona is able to pick up the kill. 4-1 now in advantage for T1.
As they are trying to still contest here.
Yeah, speaking of itching to fight, Peanut also wanted to get on in there.
The rumble!
Going aggressive. Doran getting into that backline. Cease and desist will connect. And there's the ulti out of Zeus as well. We said Gumayusi was going to struggle to play the game, but can they still win the team fight? Faker just able to ult his way out of there. Oh, actually, never mind. Didn't even do that. He just drove Shelly, and that is going to allow the double kill to come in for Doran. Faker also looking for Peanut, as not even going to die because Shelly gets rid of the turret. My God, T1. That was beautiful.
And we have seen a development in the Shelly teamfight driving meta.
And maybe we'll just have to respect it, as Control Ward's going down into this banana brush over and over again. Equalizer right on top of them as Chains of Corruption will connect, but down goes Delight because the rest of the team just couldn't get there, and then they're like, well, that's my cue to exit. They will give up a Nautilus and a Dragon, and T1 just hold on to this game so firmly. And now Keeper's Verdict comes down. Goodbye, Zeka. And now Viper is once again alone. Taunt comes in, Cease and Desist comes down, but unfortunately, I don't think they're going to cease, and they are definitely not going to desist, although Owner is still going to die. Oh, we're teleporting in, looking for a turn angle here. As Piercing Arrow going to be charged up here by Viper. He needs to try and keep himself safe in this fight, but right now they have no information about the Otachan's health bar. Keeper's Verdict just gets rid of the Ambessa as Peanut able to flash out, but unable to steal away the Otachan. He'll just burn to a crisp, as this time Viper might be able to keep himself safe. Never mind. There's just no way out for this AD carry, and Zeus trying to be a hero, but unfortunately he's on the wrong team this year, and T1 looking to push even further, but that, I think, was the backbreaker, you know?
Okay, but then they were still doing the... Oh, okay.
Well, we're going to
Hail Mary.
Something to a crisp as in goes Peanut, and immediately just gets interrupted. Cease and desist does get him into the backline, but I don't know whether he necessarily wants to be there. Gumayusi flashes away. Equalizer on his teammates mainly, but it doesn't actually matter here because T1 are so far ahead that it is just kind of doomed here for HLE. I do respect them trying to answer with more aggression.
Oh, you have to. Yeah. So might as well try to look for something. They got Guma Sums.
Yep. Carrier also got underneath an inhibitor turret and is likely to die. So he's obviously having a very good time. That's his first death of the game, actually. He was 0-0-14. Zeus is now looking for his other ex-teammate here from the bottom lane. And there's a public execution that will close the gap, and no way out here for Gumiushi. So Zeus is still gaming. He's still trying to make something happen.
They're going to look for Baron, by the way. I mean, even if they get it, I don't think it's enough, is the problem. But if they get a good fight here, you know, dreams don't have to be memes, Atlas. They need to get Baron, though, and win the fight. Yeah. Which is hard.
Well, Zeker is also going to find Doran on this flank angle here as the Baron going down very low. The equalizer comes in. Heroic entrance from Faker out of the brush there as Zeus is going to be the first to die. And now the Walking Barbecue comes in to put them down. It was optimistic, it was cute, but it was not enough. Here for HLE, Zeka is, it's like Little Red Riding Hood walking through the forest, and there are wolves and all of those dangerous things.
Oh, might as well give it a go. I don't even know, guys. It's okay.
Delight's giving it a go in the middle. It's 14,000 gold. That's a big lead. Peanut is going to phase check.
Not the jungle.
And, yeah, the Faker jump scare does come in as he presses up.
You want to talk about one of your high school experiences? Like, I don't know, man.
I was just rollerblading, man. As Zeka flashes in, looking for a bit of an angle, but he is just going to get melted. And it's another team fight that is going very handily over to T1 as the world's smallest keeper's verdict does send Peanut back to the fountain as Zeus will fall down. And there it is. Turret's going to go down, and T1, yeah, I reckon they're feeling better after their disappointing loss to KT. Feels like a bit of that revenge has come out here in today's first game.
Pretty one-sided one way or another. And as we saw, it was another, unfortunately, for them. They will be going the blue side. I hope they can bring us to a game number 3, but in that first game, T1 was doing kind of what they've been doing for... Looks like Carrier is still more than happy. And I think they can use a good amount of teamfight CC because the setup of just a Skarner, I think, generally isn't really enough to try and fight off.
And there's also not a massive amount of AoE for the Rakan to worry about here. Of course, the rocks are going to be annoying.
That's the main thing.
But it's not necessarily as much of a, like, there's no equalizers being thrown around all over the place and stuff like that, which is kind of Rakan's worst nightmare. Pops the quickness, presses W and dies, is often what happens in that scenario. Not going to be happening this time around, but may get stopped in his tracks if Zeka is playing well. Yep. Let's see whether we can get it as we jump onto the rift for game number 2.
What? So if you have, they're not Aegis, right? But if you had...
Well, Faker is in a bit of trouble. He has to flash, and then the flash follow from Zeka is too good. Let's have a look at this one more time from Zeka's perspective. He just finds the shove.
And then sitting on only a tier, but still has the damage, making sure that there's no jungler to ruin his day. Actually, they're right there. Frets the Q in between the two minions.
Nice up here.
Very, very nice. And with Talia moving over, it is a scary time. Ona might be in a little bit of trouble as Zeus is going to make the first roam, but there is the knock-up onto 2. Ona looks at the angle, doesn't quite get it, as now the needlework is coming through. Another shove! He's going to come down from the grave, and he's got Zeus trying to find Carrier here. The flash follow immediately, but the grand entrance was already right there. Still, the Jax goes down, and Ona isn't even going to be able to take down the Gwen. HLE, a dominating first skirmish. Also taking a year off for Arthur Lich King's pretty big.
Well, we still went to school.
That was the year after I graduated. So
oh, no,
I really appreciate you keeping us in the zone.
You are a stickler for structure and sheets.
Yeah.
Follow the sheet.
Hi, I'm Brendan Valdez.
And whole life's like, I don't know about this one. Maybe Zeus an issue?
Yeah, does find the counter-strike. There's the grand entrance as well. And Zeus, I mean, Delight's there to watch. But he is just dead. No making his way out of that one.
That's Triforce done. That's such a big spike for Jax. Actually, a champion now is Faker.
Yeah, could be in a bit of trouble. Does have the grand entrance there from Carrier to try and peel, but still HLE are on the march. Ona looking to make his way over, and they will see the Scorpion and look to back away. Or will they? Looking for maybe a bit of an angle, because even Peanut is doing a lot of damage with that first item completion. All right, Peanut looking for an angle, but Ona finds him. The Impale comes on down. The Crescent Guard did come on through, and Peanut stayed alive for a little bit longer than he otherwise would have, but still, Delight is going to die as well, and that is 2 very quick picks for T1.
So, yeah, just didn't check it. Flash E.
Yeah.
So clean, and even though the ult goes off, you can see it doesn't matter. The Impale is there. The follow-up of the Rakan, very clean as well, and the Delight goes in trying to salvage the play, create some space. That Herald, as we are now learning slowly, also a valuable teamfight tool.
Yeah, it's a defensive teamfighting
Let's
choice.
look. Yeah.
As, yeah, Peanut thought that he knew what was going on.
But he didn't. No, that's...
Just wanders past. That is going to be the Rise actually picking up the Drake here, as Peanut not able to find a steal. And like I said, it's going to be a Mountain Soul as Faker once again phase Russian. That's going to help him out. And does find a Rune Prison onto Zeka here, who's looking to slow down Ona, but Carrier gets into the backside and will be able to find the Talia. Seraph's not going to keep him alive. And it's Ona that actually gets the kill. I'm not sure about this one, Gumiushi, as there is an exhaust, but the rest of the team make their way over. Peanut gonna be cleaned up by the Scorpion.
Oh no, not the TP!
Yep. And the triple kill now for Ona, as Zeus looking to try and salvage the play, but instead I think he's just lining the pockets of his former teammates, and Viper is dead as well. That is a clean ace, somehow, for some reason, at 17 minutes. You know, the Black Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like gets his arms and legs chopped off.
Yeah, it's just a flesh wound.
Yeah, just a flesh wound. This game, very similar to his opinion on stuff, you know, and with optimism, you never know what you can achieve. As Delight's gonna have to press ult, just don't know whether it's gonna quite be enough. Does get missed by the Impale, as Zeka trying to do damage where he can. In goes Peanut, looks for an angle onto Gumiushi.
But just don't have the damage.
Yeah. And Faker is only gonna get more and more terrifying.
I feel robbed.
Yeah, I know. We were supposed to get a 3-gamer. It was supposed to be happening. The draft looked fine.
Really, only Viper's lagging behind.
Yeah, so Viper needs to die another time, grab a couple of assists and a kill, while the rest of his team doesn't get any.
Why can't? That doesn't work, because if he gets
that's still the task. Okay. Zona could be in a little bit of trouble here, but Gumiushi is there to defend. Takes half the health bar from Viper in an instant as the Redemption comes down to try and keep them safe. Teleport's coming in, they're on a timer now as the cleanse out from Viper. He's keeping himself alive. Gumiushi now right in amongst the enemy team with 0 mana. He'll be dead. As now Carrier off to the side and Doran gets in, finds the counter-strike onto Viper. The flash out though, and Viper is fine. The snip comes through. The blast cone though gets Doran back in the fight to dominate HLE, and now Peanut having to run his way out. That's a seismic shove though, that's going to help out, and he finds the big rock. Down goes the Jax, and now Peanut realizes that maybe it's safe to go back in and do battle, and it in fact is, and it's an even fight for both teams, but T1 gets the Drake.
Yeah. None of the other regions have seemingly picked this up yet.
Oh, that's okay. Seismic Shove is going to push back Ona here. I prefer not to talk about it because I was quite distressed with the fact that we did make leaps and bounds, but no one else has really read the scientific paper. But that's okay. Seismic Shove pulls back Ona, but he is incredibly tanky, so he'll be absolutely fine.
Who did the peer review?
That was my cat. Yeah, and he was really good at it.
Delight, no!
The cow, not doing so well. Well, at least Peanut is going to be able to make it towards the pit. But Doran gets in, goes golden, and that is enough space bought here. As Zeus now trying to do some of the needlework, as Delight's also made his way back through. But that is going to be an Impale only onto a cow. But I think T1 are okay with just giving over their Scorpion if it does mean securing the Baron.
That might actually, like, between mid-turret, you take out Owner, which means that they don't get to be out on the map for the next 30 seconds.
And it had about a sliver of health, so they are just going to give the Drake, but it's about what else they can take on this map.
You are a potential man, but you actually reached it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, T1, they have the potential to win this team fight as well, but the rocks are down. There's the close in onto Faker, but he goes golden. There's the double Impale, but the Redemption is there to try and keep them alive. Carrier's going down low, but they've already lost the jungler and the cow. Now Viper is trying to fend off Doran, but I don't like his odds in that fight. And Gumiushi stays alive. And now Doran is just inside the enemy base, as he is wont to do. I don't know whether it's necessarily a good idea, though, because this counter-strike is going to do nothing, and then he's going to die. As T1, they do win the fight. They do lose 2 in the process, so it's not necessarily a wash.
That item up on Guma, that is tough to deal with.
Not to mention Doran as well, as True Shot Barrage not going to quite find the mark there, as Nice Seismic Shove is going to connect, but Owner is very tanky. As you were saying, he gets redeemed as well. And remember, T1 still have a 4K gold lead, but it's shrinking, right? Like, it's 3.7. I need to not necessarily do the rounding. Anymore as Delight. Oh god. Yeah, that's a costly face check. Doesn't actually go down. Doesn't use the ultimate, but he will need to go back most likely. Does have the redemption. And these big ones are starting to hurt. Not actually spotted, but I don't think they're going to be able to stop this as the Baron is just taken. Now Doran going to get flicked back, but HLE can't stop T1 from getting out because they have a Realm Warp, and now they're looking for a re-engage. Arcane Shift is going to be decent, but that flick is not going to connect from Zeka. Yep. And if you're diving on top of an Alistair, you're not feeling fantastic. There's the flick back, not able to get Owner over the wall, as now with the Crescent Guard, Peanut looking to keep himself alive. True Shot Barrage does a lot of work, but Doran buys a lot of time as everyone's going golden. Carrier looking for some angles with his quickness and not actually able to find quite the value as Zeus almost just dies as Viper gets in front of the rocket. And Zeus keeps himself up with that arm guard. Still T1. They win the health trades as now the Scorpions driving in. The Realm Warp comes down as well. Viper keeps himself alive though, but still T1 have broken open the base. And man, this play is so disciplined from T1. No one dying, but look at their base. It's in shambles. The wall now going to come down, trying to convince T1 to leave. And at least at this point, they're going to acquiesce, but they're going to do so with an 8K gold lead.
They're on vision.
Yeah, there's a counter-strike. It just catches Zeka, and there is the Dragon going down. The Realm Warp to deliver the rest of T1, but it's only Faker that comes in. Still, Doran gets himself out. The exhaust is onto Peanut. Not exactly highest value, as Zeus will block off the entrance. And Faker just buying some time where he can, but still able to get one of these kills. Still, Zeus gets into that backline, has to go golden, not out of the woods just yet as he does flash dash, but still dies. And now Doran being a menace, but will be going down himself.
They have to keep going!
Yep, the wall comes on through as Zeka is trying to buy the space. A flick back on Owner once again, but he gets the impale. And Gumyushi does so much damage, so does Viper though. Carrier uses that arm guard, and now Owner is tanking for days.
Look at the base!
And Viper is a monster. Gumyushi gonna get taken down to the GA. Owner is pretty much invincible as Peanut gets out of the brush. They're able to take down the Corki, but he almost kills Viper. And Owner is immortal. He is just impossible to kill. So thankfully, they're just going to be able to back away now. And yeah, the game is likely still over because these minions are so annoying.
The game is still afoot. The Hail Mary Baron.
Well, it's going down extraordinarily fast. Owner gets headbutted out, so it's Peanut that's able to lock down the Baron. Still, Doran going golden, but the knockup will interrupt. All right, the Realm Warp to try and get T1 out of there. They will leave, but the Baron is now circulating HLE, and they have a man advantage.
There's one more super minion trying his best.
Yep, there is the Weaver's Wall. Faker goes golden, but it's not going to save the turret. The Impale's only onto Delight, and they get on top of it.
They got him!
Down goes Faker, and now Carrier trying to be the hero gets into the backline, but my God, the damage as HLE tear through T1, and this will be a series chronicler. This is not even the series win and we're losing our minds. This just means we get another one out of HLE and T1 here today.
The journal knew! The tempo vibes were still there for Hanwha Life!
Put HLE in a really good spot for the third one, right? As 60k damage from these 80 carries. That is absolutely ridiculous. Look at that lead. It was 16 minutes into the game and T1 basically won the game-winning fight.
That, he literally, today his skin got released. Oh my God, do it.
Oh, the Ornn in the end. T1's a little bit more obscure.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That doesn't really... No,
that's what it is.
Well, no, I know that, but that's not giving me anything.
You need to do a bit of a flick of the tongue at the end.
No, I mean, Atlas, come on, I speak Dutch. I can say it. It's just, I just don't think there's any meaning to be derived from.
Oh, is it a rude word in Dutch or something like that? This guy does have an Akali skin, and they have the tempo vibes. Let's get into it. So it's the W group, and the Legend group is the L group. CS still there, and yeah. They are going to try and get a fight started. Peanut going to make his way in. The Flag and Drag going to be available, and he's just waiting for Gumyushi to flash. Oh, the flash follow! Peanut still got the hands, ladies and gentlemen! And Viper's got the bullets! That's going to be first blood for HLE. Oh man, these tempo vibes kind of getting ridiculous.
Oh, he's going to go in.
Oh yeah, Zeka actually looking for an angle here as he gets into the Shroud as well. 5-point strike doing so much work. He'll have another one. There it is. And there is the ulti through. Zeka finds the second angle, but the fear is going to come in, and a little bit of an overstep there.
And taking the turret shot, not so much as...
Yeah, well, someone's getting paranoid here towards the top side of the map, and yeah, He's going to try and get himself out. Does invest the flash. Dustbringer not going to be enough to kill him.
Wait,
But Doran is still waiting. Yeah. He is going to just be able to eat. Doesn't have a lot of the blue stuff.
No, he's out. They can't dive.
Down.
Oh, maybe a little
cheeky Doran angle. Looking for Peanut here. Just
that was our micro!
Slice and a dice.
Come on. Narratively, they're his.
That is true. He is the Krug Lord for a reason. But Peanut does still smite it.
Which means that the light is out of the play.
Yeah.
And it looks like no contest is coming out. And for a no, obviously, because the grubs were just taken.
Yeah.
Look at his positioning.
Yeah, that's still Flash Cataclysm. Yeah, he has no Flash. So he's just going to find a 3-man Shockwave and likely die as the Tempered Fate does come in, but I think it blocked the Paranoia damage as now Zeka gets himself into the Shroud. He should be able to backflip his way out or Flash. And there is the Flash, but still the Umbral Blades will come through. Flag and Drag gets Peanut out of there, but that is not the trade that HLE were looking for. This standing on a ward thing that they're doing here is also subpar, but still the cancel not going to matter. The Magical Journey not going to get taken. The Cataclysm comes down as well as Zeka gets in. Tempered Fate does go down, but the teammates are already dead. The Shockwave comes on through as the back scratcher comes out from Gumayusi, but doesn't find enough, and Faker is dead as well. Zeka just desperately wants a kill. He can't get one. The rest of his teammates are taking him all away. The dream obviously is being a 4-team region. Oh, hey, but a 3-team region. That's better than 2. We're very happy about it. The orb not actually going to get utilized just yet as the Tempered Fate will interrupt the curtains. Still, the Rift Herald going to be taken here by Owner. The Magnustorm comes down though. The teleport in from Zeka to deliver him into the backline, but the fight is already in a bit of an awkward spot, and Doran is so incredibly big. Zeka still looking for that angle though. Onto Gumayusi as the Shockwave doesn't find the mark. Still the ulti comes through, but down he goes, and HLE just bit off more than they could possibly chew, and now they're just lying on the floor. Back to 2 teams, Atlas. And we'll see whether they can actually get in there. No one really pulling the trigger just yet, and now they're going to turn. Shockwave connects onto 2, though, as a Tempered Fate. He's going to buy so much time for Doran still. He is going to fall, but it's in trade for Delight, as now it is just a mess inside the pit. Owner's spinning around, taking down Peanut. The Cosmic Binding, so incredibly good here from Carrier, and Faker is not going to be thwarted by Zeus. Zeka as well, just going to have to flash his way out and should be able to backflip to relative safety, but it's not going to save the fight. One of the sources of damage, as in they go, Otacon's up. Yep, flash out attempted here by Peanut. Let's see what he can do to try and escape, as that is a pedal, not a blast cone, but he's still able to flag and drag. Okay, there's the redemption, but it's actually avoided. Shockwave finishes him off. Oh, that Tempered Fate to deny a redemption heal? Was that actually what he meant to do? Because that's insanity.
Owner's honestly not bad, but with the spell shield, it's kind of hard. Faker has Roa.
Well, they go from Delight. They're looking for a double knockup. Comes down as well. The Tempered Fate to buy some space here. I don't know whether it's going to be good enough, though. They lose the Nocturne, but Delight does go down. And Gumayusi, he's free hitting. Doran gets in there, and the AoE is revolting out of T1. Some more items can come in. There's Bellows Breath coming down there from Zeus. Too much more going to happen here as HLE, they just need to respect the Bard. Exactly right. The Ram comes down, gets a nice knock up onto Owner, but now time for the re-engage as the Shockwave comes in, pulls Peanut to his doom as Zeka goes in like a madman and just gets obliterated. Viper now finds himself as the last man standing, and he ain't standing for long. Down he will go as T1 are gonna snuff out HLE here in the end of Game 3. Oh man, what a pipe dream. Game 2 led us to believe as T1 just pull it right back.
And with this loss, Hanwha Live losing to their direct competitor for second place, a spot they were holding on to tightly, even though they had not been able to stand up to T1, to stand up to Gen G.
If it's a best of 3 of best of 3s, it's the game.
Going for Carrier again. I think even the game 2 that they lost, you don't get to play the game, they will kill you over and over and over. And the funniest part about this whole ordeal is that Faker somehow did the most damage in the game.
Yeah, kind of nuts. As Carrier will be able to pick this one up, moving up to 800 points.
Look at these.
Yeah, 0-120 ain't too bad.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Seer for the POM Mirror Translation, joined by Carrier on the side of T1. Congratulations! Losing today meant losing second place. You really needed that victory. And you took a 2-1 win. How do you feel? You know, Hana Life Esports, they have been performing very well. And we were definitely preparing very hard for today, and I'm glad that we were able to win. In games 1 and 3, you displayed near perfect performance. After the KT match, what did you work on? I feel like in the KT match, there are a lot of aspects, even in the laning phase. We didn't get to play our game normal. And I think it looks like Ati is really just taking the spotlight. How do you feel? Ati was cheering for you today. He's just really cute. And after Bard kept getting banned in phase 2 of games 1 and 2, in game 3 you took Bard as the B2 pick. So were you confident that you would win with Bard? I feel like, yeah, I just have a different mindset when I play Bard as compared to other champions too. You know, I feel like our opponents always try to ban Bard, so whenever we get the opportunity to play him, we do take him. So how did you feel after securing Bard? You know, after getting Bard, I did feel a lot better, and I felt like I could win no matter what. And T1 actually has a very short average game time. But game 2 went over 45 minutes, and you played a pretty close series. So how were you able to maintain your focus today? As for today, I think we had an advantage whenever it came to the team fight, and I feel like it really came down to us maintaining our focus whenever we were able to win. And you know, game 2 was an unfortunate loss because we weren't able to focus very well. And in game 3, Doran reached 600 LCK games. Anything you want to say? Honestly, congratulations on your 600th win. I hope that we get to play for a very long time. And the long-awaited T1 World Skin was revealed just yesterday. How do you like your Pyke skin, Keria? Personally, I like it a lot. And other than me, I feel like other players' skins also came out, and they were really cool. So I think everyone's really happy. And now, take your time to sell out. I don't know if you guys like Pyke personally, but I feel like he looks really cool. So I would be really grateful if you guys all use it. You know, it would make me so happy if a lot of my fans use it. And T1's last regular season match will be against Gen G. In the rounds 3 and 4 matchup, you guys are neck and neck, so what mindset do you have? You know, being able to compete against Gen G right before the playoffs, it's quite meaningful because they're really good, and I hope that we're able to pull up our performance and secure a victory. And that's the end of the interview with Keria, and back to the space. Thank you.